I'm not a Christian because some Christians wronged me. The church is full of hypocrites. That's why I don't go to church. Listen, salvation and going to church is not about other people. It's not about other hypocrites. It's about you. Salvation isn't about them. It's about you, the individual. Philippians 2:12 tells us to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. You work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And so the salvation is about you. And so if you go to Psalm 51, right around verses 4 through 12, it says the psalmist is crying out to the Lord, and he's saying, against you and you only have I sinned. And then he says, oh Lord, hide your face from my sins, blot out my iniquities, and create in me a new heart and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, and restore unto me the joy of your salvation. It's about you, the broken, fallen, wretched individual. So stop coming up with these excuses about why you're not going to church or why you're not a Christian, because this is about you getting right with God. Psalms 19:14 says, oh Lord, let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart, not this, my heart, be pleasing unto you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. To what degree are all of your words and all of your thoughts honoring God? See, this is about you. It's about the individual getting fixed. Psalms 139:23 says, search me, O Lord. Know my heart, O God. Try me, O God. Know my thoughts. And if there be any wicked way in me, O God, lead me in the way of everlasting, O Lord. Psalms 26:2 says, examine me, prove me, God. Try my reins and my heart, not all those other people. And then Job, oh my gosh, in Job 40, right at the end of Job 40, he's going on this rant about God and how innocent he is, and he just wants audience with God. And then God finally speaks up, and God asks him in Job 40, verse 2, he says, shall a fault finder contend with the Almighty? Answer my questions. And Job, basically, in a couple verses later, verse 4, he says, you know what? I've spoken too much. I put my foot in my mouth. And he literally says, I'm going to put my hand on my mouth so I can shut up and not be talking about things that I don't know. And a couple chapters later, Job 42, verse 3, Job, again, God asks him, answer me if you can. And Job says, he humbles himself and says, oh God, I have spoken of things that I do not understand, things far too wonderful for me to comprehend. I repent. And so the bottom line here, when you were talking about, the church has hurt you or Christians have hurt you, and this is why you're not a Christian, or this is why you're not going to church. Well, put all that aside. This is about you getting right with God. And by the way, if someone really hurts you and they owe you an apology, but they may never know they hurt you and owe you an apology, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to forgive them. Did it ever occur to you to forgive them? Because Matthew 6:14-15, that's what it talks about. Jesus speaking, he said, God will forgive you if you forgive others, but if you don't forgive, God doesn't forgive you. So that's just another excuse of why, you're not a Christian or why you're not going to church. Knock it off. Grow up. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You will stand before the Lord. I'm telling you right now, you and I, every soul is going to stand before the Lord and give an account for their lives. My advocate is Jesus Christ. I know I'm jacked up. I know I'm messed up, but my advocate is Jesus Christ. And here's another thing. When you stand before the Lord, you're not going to be able to finger point and say, the reason I didn't go to church was because of those hypocrites. The reason I didn't go get saved is because, the Christians, they're the ones who hurt me. Have you sinned? This is why we need to get right with God personally. Forget about all the messed up people, because, you're not messed up. Yeah. You individually get right with the Lord. Love you. Bow down, fool.